this movie. If you look at some of the scenes, they're looking right down this street. That church up ahead of us there on the right really stands out. Yeah, I love that movie. Hello! Now, we are now in Cow Hollow. There's a hollow cow to our right. This is now a residential area, but it was dairy farms, pastures, originally. And we are surrounded by beautiful Victorian homes. Back there's an Edwardian. Here on our right, this white one with the flat front. We see a lot of Queen Anne's in this neighborhood. Let's see, that one is more stick style with some Italianate touches. A Queen Anne you will always recognize because it has curved glass windows and a turret. Now this is Union Street that we're on, not Union Square, Union Street. This is a shopping street. A lot of great shops along here, smaller businesses, not a lot of chains. There are some, not too many luckily. Retain a lot of its local flavor. This didn't used to be a nice part of town. It was a bypass for getting down Lombard Street. Drove the property values down. Property owners started renting out the bottom floors of their houses to businesses. That's how this became a business district. But you can see they're just beautiful Victorians all around us. Especially as you go further up into the hills. This is a nice neighborhood up here to explore if you can. If you can stand walking up the hills, it's worth it, well worth it. Well, I haven't been by this theater in a while. They're renovating this theater. I'm kind of happy to see that. It's been closed for a long time. Look at that beautiful Victorian there on our left. That's Italianate. See the columns, the kind of Romanesque columns there? Now these were built mostly as single-family houses originally. Back when families were bigger, people had more children, you had all the relatives living under one roof. Doesn't that sound like fun? Not my family. We have to hide the knives during the holidays, but anyway, look here on the right, look at these twin houses. These were built by a father's wedding presents to his daughters. Isn't that nice? They got to live next to each other forever. You know, I love my sister, but not that much. No thanks. So they started dividing these up into flats and apartments during World War II when we had a housing shortage. Hi! Good. Look at this beautiful Art Deco Victorian on the left. There's a few of these around. You don't see too many of these. Look how ornate that is on the outside there. But this is one of my favorites over here on the right. 4 stories tall. I want that apartment on the top. What a view it must have. This shingled one on the left is kind of interesting. Here's one that's been very nicely painted on the left. See how the contrasting colors bring out the details? You hire a color consultant to do that now. You'd pay them about $300 to $500. But it's worth it when they do a good job. Coming up on our right is an octagonal house. It's a museum now. They're open a couple days a month. We used to have lots of octagonal houses around the city. This is one of the only ones left. It's coming up right here on the right. Or did we pass it back there? We passed it, didn't we? Yep, sorry, we passed it. Oops. My bad. It doesn't have the 3-sided bay windows. These are the bay windows, see here, these 3-sided windows. You see those all throughout San Francisco. They let more light in, let you take advantage of the view. Now look over here on the left, just beyond this pink awning. This is the smallest deli, this is the smallest bar in the city, rather. The Black Horse London. There's like 8 stools in there. So now we're turning onto Van Ness Boulevard. This is the widest street in San Francisco. Prior to the earthquake and fire of 1906, this was called Bartlett Street. The Great San Francisco Earthquake was April 18, 1906, 5:12 a.m. Thursday will be the 107th anniversary. The earthquake measured 8.25 on the Richter scale. It was one of the biggest earthquakes to ever strike the United States. It ripped open gas lines all across the city. Escaping gas ignited over 50 fires. The fires moved from the east to the west. They lasted 4 days, the 18th to the 21st. By the time they were done, 75% of San Francisco lay in ruin. Nearly 500 square blocks. Over 28,000 buildings destroyed. It's the defining moment in our city's history. First day